First, you must decide if you need to make a report, and this decision can be complex. If you are in doubt whether a report is necessary, you should make a report to assure the safety of the person in question and to assure that you are in compliance with the law. Penalties for mandated reporters who fail to report suspected abuse or neglect can be severe. If you decide that you need to report, who should you make the report to? As mentioned earlier, jurisdictional issues are complicated, so the following is a general guideline to help point you in the right direction. Each agency can guide you through the report. If the suspected abuse or neglect occurred in a public setting or private home, for example, then you should report to your local Adult Protective Services or APS agency. If the suspected abuse or neglect occurred or is taking place in a long-term care facility, no matter how slight, report to the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program for your area. If the abuse or neglect in a long-term care facility is physical, you are required by law to report to law enforcement, the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program, and the licensing agency. If the abuse is non-physical or caused by a resident diagnosed with dementia and there is no serious bodily injury, you should report to the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program or to local law enforcement. If you are unsure of where to report, contact your local APS agency or the Ombudsman Crisis Line for assistance. Step 1. Include the name of the person you are making the report about, even if all you have is the first name, last name, or nickname. Step 2. Include where you saw the abuse or where it was reported to have taken place. In addition, document the address where the alleged victim can be located if known. Step 3. Include the date you observed the abuse or it was alleged to have taken place. Step 4. Include any other witnesses or parties involved who observed or were told about the abuse when you were. Step 5. Include your best estimate of the alleged victim's age. Step 6. Include a description of the injuries you saw or were told about. Step 7. Include whether the alleged victim has or appears to have a physical disability, intellectual disability, or mental health issue. And Step 8. Include the alleged victim's relevant medical history and any medications they are taking if you have this information. You will recall from Lesson 1 that knowing where the abuse or neglect is happening indicates what agency you need to call to make your report. As a reminder, jurisdictional issues can be complicated, and we have provided a general pathway here to refresh your memory. If it is life-threatening or a crime is in progress, call 911. Again, some helpful numbers and websites are displayed here, and after you complete this course, please research local numbers in your area and speak with your supervisor to be sure you have the correct resources for your location. There are two parts to making a mandated report: a phone call and a written report. The law mandates different timeline requirements based on the type of abuse and where it occurred. As a mandated reporter, the initial phone report is your starting point, followed by a written report. The Welfare and Institutions Code Section 15360 states that mandated reporters shall report the known or suspected instance of abuse immediately, or as soon as practically possible. Some counties have developed an internet reporting tool, and although this is acceptable if available, a phone call should be your priority if the matter is urgent or time-sensitive. When reporting by phone, it is extremely important to document the name of the person who you reported to over the phone. This is both for the report itself and for your records in case the report is ever called into question. Once you have made your initial phone report, you will then need to submit the SOC 341 form or SOC 342 form according to the reporting requirements, including reports to law enforcement. We'll look at these forms in more detail on the next few screens. Most mandated reporters will complete the SOC 341 form. Financial institutions will complete the SOC 342 form.